I'm going to speak over the visuals that are just on the screen right now, which are showing how Russian occupants have hit a Romanian ship in the Black Sea. Romania, a NATO member. And the pictures on the air are showing how this has happened, where these pictures show how Romanian occupants Russian occupants have now hit a Romanian ship in the Black Sea. Remember, extremely decisive, Christine and the defense panelists and experts who are going to be with us, because this is an indication also of Russia targeting NATO members. Romania is a NATO member and is now being targeted, with the pictures on the screen clearly showing how Russia is now targeting Romanian vessels. Also, this is coming that reports that Russian occupants are currently targeting that Romanian vessel, Christine. This is important because this has been targeted in the Black Sea. This is also important because Romania is a member of NATO that has been speaking against Russia, and now Russian occupants hit the Romanian ship in the Black Sea.
Oh yes. And Rhythm, you know why this also becomes interesting is because a lot of our experts have in the past said during the course of our conversation with them over the last few days that it's actually a war between the United States and Russia. That's one perspective that is being spoken of, and the direct consequence is going to be borne by Ukrainians. And we've seen how so many civilians have also come under fire in what's going on in Ukraine. But as for the NATO members are concerned, remember, it all started with Russia in the first place, making it extremely clear that, look, the problem here is Ukraine's growing friendship with NATO members, and Ukraine's want to now be a part of NATO, the military alliance that Russia has rejected since day one. Now the West, the European Union and NATO coming together, Russia sees this as a security threat, is why Russia is now looking at a full-scale invasion in Ukraine. Russia has made it extremely clear that this is not about any sort of a muscle flexing. This is solely about securing its own territorial integrity and security. So that's what Russia maintains at this point in time. And now that NATO has come out and said that, look, we'll not be placing any of our troops in Ukraine, but yes, we continue to stand with Ukraine, is something that needs to be looked at extremely carefully. Coming under fire are other NATO nations now. So, Rhythm, all in all, what we see is that a direct fight between NATO members, between the United States, the European Union members, the consequence of it all being borne by innocent civilians in Ukraine.
Absolutely. And Christine, as you encapsulate that, I speak over those visuals on the screen where USSR flags are also seen on those tanks. We just showed you how there are reports that suggest that a Romanian ship has been hit, which is a massive escalation. We've also seen how this is an independence for Ukrainians, like Christine is talking about, happening. But a lot of global nations talking about what should happen. First, I speak over those visuals where we can see Russia strikes a Romanian ship in the Black Sea. Remember, Romania is a member of NATO, and how this seems to be a massive escalation. This is also happening, Christine, as I come back to you, when Biden says any nation that countenances Russian aggression will be stained by association.
Absolutely. So, whether or not any diplomatic off-ramps are still available remains to be seen. President Zelensky says he's open to talks with Putin. Whether or not that's going to lead to anything remains to be seen.